Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. Every Saturday morning, the sun poured through our kitchen window, illuminating the old oak table cluttered with vintage finds. My wife, Laura, and I cherished these weekends, meandering through antique stores and flea markets, hunting for relics that told stories of the past. Laura had a knack for spotting hidden treasures, those unique pieces that whispered of history. But lately, something shifted. As I sipped my coffee, I noticed the distinct lack of new purchases. Instead of the usual assortment of trinkets, Laura returned home with only a few items. It was as if she was visiting the stores more for the atmosphere than for the thrill of discovery. When I asked her about it, she brushed it off, claiming she was just being more selective. But I could sense there was something else, a veil of secrecy hanging over our shared passion. Determined to uncover the truth, I decided to visit our favorite antique shop alone. As I stepped through the door, the familiar smell of polished wood and aged leather enveloped me. The soft chime of the bell above the door signaled my arrival, and the salespeople greeted me with warm smiles. But as I wandered through the aisles, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Suddenly, a young woman approached me, her eyes red and puffy from crying. She looked familiar. She was one of the saleswomen. You're Laura's husband, right?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Yes, that's me. I'm surprised to see you so upset. What's wrong?" I replied, concern etching my features. In an unexpected burst of emotion, she grabbed my collar and pulled me close, kissing me passionately on the lips. I stumbled back, bewildered. "What was that?" I exclaimed, wiping my mouth with the back of my hand. The saleswoman, her cheeks flushed, quickly released me and took a deep breath. "I caught my husband with your wife. Right here." They were kissing on the counter, right in front of me. Shock coursed through me like a jolt of electricity. "What? Are you serious?" I stammered, my heart racing. The pieces began to fall into place. All those weekends spent apart, the dwindling purchases, this was the reason. I was devastated, she continued, her voice shaking. "I thought I'd get back at him by kissing you, but it didn't help. I just wanted you to know the truth." I stood frozen, my mind racing. The betrayal hit me like a freight train. I could feel the walls closing in as reality crashed over me. Laura was cheating, and not only was it with another man, but it was with someone who was meant to be close to me. "Where is she now?" I demanded, a sense of urgency propelling me forward. "She's probably at home or back here. She spends all her time here lately," the saleswoman replied, her voice laced with sadness. I left the shop in a daze, the world around me fading into the background. My hands trembled as I clutched my phone, grappling with the decision that lay ahead. Betrayal cut deep, and I felt a surge of anger bubbling inside me, igniting a thirst for revenge. I couldn't just let this go. Over the next few days, I concocted a plan. I would break her life just as she had broken mine. I began gathering evidence, piecing together the moments that would shatter her world. Each photograph, each message I uncovered, was another nail in her coffin. As I executed my plan, I found a strange satisfaction in the unfolding chaos. The woman I had loved, who had shared my passion for vintage treasures, was about to learn the true meaning of betrayal. And as I prepared to confront Laura, I steeled myself for the inevitable confrontation that would end our marriage. This was just the beginning of a long and twisted road, one that would change both our lives forever. The thrill of revenge pulsed through my veins, and I felt empowered, ready to reclaim my life from the ashes of her deceit. Laura had no idea what was coming. The sun rises over the city, casting long shadows on the empty street outside my apartment. I sit at the kitchen table, a fresh cup of coffee in hand, staring blankly at the wall. My mind races with thoughts of Laura and the betrayal that has turned my world upside down. I need to confront her, but I want to make sure I have all my pieces in place before I do. The day drags on, and with each tick of the clock, my resolve strengthens. By the time evening falls, I'm ready. I grab my phone, scrolling through the messages I've gathered over the past few days. Each one is a reminder of her deceit, evidence of her betrayal that will serve as ammunition when I confront her. As I drive to our shared apartment, my heart pounds in my chest. The familiar streets feel foreign now, the places we once enjoyed together tinged with bitterness. I pull up outside, the evening sky painted in hues of orange and purple. The front door stands ominously ajar, and a sense of dread washes over me. Stepping inside, the apartment is eerily quiet. "Laura." I call out, my voice echoing through the empty rooms. No response. I move further in, my eyes scanning for any sign of her. The living room is cluttered with the remnants of our life, pictures of us smiling, mementos from trips we took together. It all feels like a cruel joke now. I make my way to the bedroom, and as I open the door, I'm hit with a wave of emotions. There, on the bed, are the items I know she's been collecting for her affair: scattered clothes, her favorite red dress, and a few unfamiliar accessories. It feels like a scene from a nightmare. "Laura!" I shout again, the frustration boiling over. At that moment, I hear the front door creak open, followed by the sound of footsteps. My pulse quickens as I turn to face her. She steps in, a look of surprise crossing her face. "What are you doing here?" she asks, her voice tinged with irritation. "I came to talk," I reply, my tone cold. "I know everything, Laura. About you and your little escapade." Her face pales, and for a moment, she looks like a deer caught in headlights. "What are you talking about?" she stammers, trying to mask her panic. "Don't play dumb. I spoke with the saleswoman. She told me everything," I say, taking a step closer. "You think you can just betray me and carry on like nothing happened?" Laura's eyes dart around the room, searching for an escape route. "You have to understand." "Understand what?" I interrupt, my voice rising. "That you've been cheating on me. That you've been lying to my face while I thought we were happily married. Please, just let me explain," she pleads, desperation creeping into her voice. "It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" I challenge, crossing my arms. "What could possibly justify kissing another man? Not just any man, but the husband of someone who trusted you." She opens her mouth to speak, but no words come out. The silence stretches between us, thick with tension. Finally, she drops her head, defeated. "I didn't mean for it to happen. It was just supposed to be a fling. I thought it wouldn't matter." I can feel my anger boiling over, but I force myself to stay calm. "A fling? Do you even hear yourself? You thought it wouldn't matter to destroy everything we built together." Laura looks up, tears brimming in her eyes. "I'm sorry. I really am. I was looking for something I felt was missing." I shake my head, my heart aching at her words, but the betrayal runs too deep. "What was missing?" "Because you clearly found it in someone else's arms." As I take a step back, the realization washes over me. This is it, the moment I finally take control of my life again. "I want a divorce, Laura," I declare, my voice steady. The words hang in the air, and I watch as she processes the gravity of what I've just said. "You can't be serious," she whispers, panic etched across her face. "Oh, I am," I reply. "I've already spoken to a lawyer. This is happening, whether you like it or not." Laura's breath hitches, and she steps toward me, reaching out as if to grab my hand. "Wait, please don't do this. We can work it out. Just give me another chance." But I pull away, my resolve firm. "You had your chance, Laura. You blew it. You chose him over me, and now you're going to face the consequences. As she stands there, tears streaming down her face, I can't help but feel a pang of sadness for what we once had. But the anger overrules it. I turn to leave, grabbing my keys from the table. Where are you going? She asks, her voice breaking. I'm done, I say, my back turned to her. I'm breaking your life, just like you broke mine. And when I'm done, you'll never see me again. With those final words, I walk out the door, slamming it behind me. The weight of betrayal is heavy on my shoulders, but for the first time in days, I feel lighter, free from the chains she had wrapped around me. The road ahead will be challenging, but I'm ready to reclaim my life. This is just the beginning of my retribution. The sun barely peeks through the blinds as I wake up, the events of the previous day flooding back into my mind. I sit on the edge of the bed, the sheets still tangled around my legs, and stare at the wall, grappling with the reality of my situation. I've taken the first step toward reclaiming my life, but the road ahead feels daunting. I need a plan, a way to ensure Laura understands the consequences of her betrayal. As I prepare for the day, I pull out my laptop and start doing research. I need to know what I'm up against, what resources are available to me. I look into divorce proceedings, custody arrangements, and the potential fallout of my actions. Each click of the mouse reinforces my resolve. I won't allow her to walk away unscathed. After a few hours of scouring the internet, I decide to visit the local cafe where I often meet with my friends. The familiar aroma of roasted coffee beans fills the air as I step inside, instantly bringing me comfort. I spot my friend Mike sitting at a corner table, his brow furrowed as he stirs his coffee. Hey, you okay? He asks, concern etched on his face as I join him. I'm handling things, I reply, not ready to spill the whole story just yet. You don't look okay. You look like you've been through a war, he remarks, and I chuckle darkly. More like a battle of the heart, I say, leaning back in my chair. Laura cheated on me. I found out, and I'm done. I'm getting a divorce. Mike's eyes widen in shock. No way. I'm so sorry, man. What happened? I recount the story, leaving out the intimate details but emphasizing the betrayal and my decision to end things. As I finish, Mike leans forward, his expression serious. What are you going to do now? I want to make her feel the pain she caused me, I confess, my voice low. I want her to understand the depth of her betrayal. Mike nods slowly. I get that. But how do you plan to do that? I take a deep breath, formulating the plan in my mind. I'll expose her affair. I'll make sure everyone knows what she did. It's time she faced the music. Are you sure that's the right approach? He asks, concern creeping back into his voice. It's the only approach I have left. She thought she could have it all without consequences, I reply, my resolve hardening. As we continue to talk, ideas flow. Mike suggests gathering evidence, pictures, messages, anything that can corroborate my claims. If you want to expose her, you need to have the proof, he insists. After finishing my coffee, I head home, feeling more determined than ever. I pull out my phone, scrolling through the messages I had gathered from the saleswoman and other sources. I need more concrete evidence. I decide to pay a visit to the antique shop again. Walking through the familiar aisles, I feel a mix of nostalgia and anger. The vibrant displays of vintage items remind me of the good times Laura and I shared. But as I approach the counter, I notice the saleswoman from before, her eyes still red from crying. Hey, I say softly, approaching her. Can we talk? She looks up, her expression a mix of surprise and sadness. I didn't expect to see you again, she admits. I need your help, I say, leaning closer. I want to expose Laura for what she's done, but I need evidence. If you caught her with your husband, Maybe you have something that could help. She hesitates, biting her lip. I don't know. I'm still processing everything. But I want to help you. It's not right what she did to you. I watch as she gathers her thoughts. I might have some old security footage from the shop. It wouldn't show everything, but it might give you something. Anything you can give me will help, I reply, my heart racing with anticipation. We exchange numbers, and she promises to send me whatever she can find. As I leave the shop, I feel a sense of purpose driving me forward. Days pass, and I gather more evidence. The saleswoman sends me clips from the security footage, showing Laura and her lover laughing, leaning into each other. Each glimpse of her betrayal ignites my anger, fueling my resolve. One night, as I sit in front of my laptop, I start drafting an email to our close friends and family. I plan to expose Laura for who she truly is, a woman who shattered our vows for a fleeting thrill. With each word I type, I feel lighter, empowered. This is the retribution I need, the closure I've been searching for. The next day, I hit send. The email cascades into the inboxes of friends and family, revealing the betrayal that had unfolded behind closed doors. As I step away from my laptop, I can already imagine the ripples of shock and disbelief spreading among our loved ones. I know I've crossed a line, but the exhilaration of taking control of my life washes over me. It feels right, necessary even. I brace myself for the fallout, knowing that Laura's world is about to come crashing down. As I go about my day, anticipation courses through me. I can't wait to see how she reacts when she discovers the storm I've unleashed. There's no going back now, and I'm ready to face whatever comes next. The day after I sent the email, the fallout begins. My phone buzzes incessantly with messages and calls from friends and family, their shocked reactions flooding my notifications. I feel a twisted sense of satisfaction as I read their responses, many of them expressing disbelief and outrage. I know I've shattered Laura's carefully crafted facade, and I can hardly contain my glee. But amidst the chaos, there's an undercurrent of dread building within me. What will Laura do when she finds out? I brace myself for the inevitable confrontation. I can almost hear her footsteps echoing in the hallway as I wait for her to come home. When the door swings open, Laura steps inside, her expression a mixture of anger and confusion. "What the hell did you do?" she screams, her voice piercing through the silence. I stand my ground, arms crossed over my chest. "You're finally facing the consequences of your actions, Laura. You thought you could play both sides without repercussions. You have no idea what you're talking about," she fires back, her eyes narrowing. "You're making a huge mistake." "Am I?" I retort, taking a step closer. "You broke our vows and shattered my trust. This is the least you deserve. You're just trying to hurt me because I hurt you. This isn't fair," she yells, her voice trembling. I can feel my anger boiling over, and I take a deep breath to steady myself. "Fair? What's fair is that everyone knows who you really are. You're not the victim here, Laura, you're the villain in this story." She scoffs, crossing her arms defensively. "You think sending that email will ruin me? You have no idea how strong I am." I'll bounce back. A wicked grin spreads across my face as I lean in, my voice low and menacing. "You think this is just about the email? I'm just getting started." With that, I pull out my phone, displaying the video footage the saleswoman provided. Laura's laughter echoes in the room as I press play, showing her and her lover in moments of intimacy, their faces filled with betrayal and lust. I watch her face go pale, her confidence crumbling as reality sinks in. You recorded this," she stammers, her voice barely above a whisper. "Not just recorded, Laura. This is your legacy now. I'm sharing this with everyone, not just our friends. I'll make sure it gets out," I declare, feeling a surge of power. No. You can't do this. It's illegal, she protests, panic rising in her voice. Is it illegal to expose the truth? I reply coldly. You made your choices, now you'll face the consequences. As she stumbles backward, I can see the realization hit her like a wave. You're insane, she breathes, her eyes wide with fear. I step closer, my tone sharp. Insane? Maybe. But I've learned that betrayal deserves retribution. You taught me that. In that moment, I can see the final threads of her confidence unraveling. You'll regret this. I'll make your life hell, she threatens, but her voice quivers, revealing her fear. Hell? You've already put me through hell. This is just the beginning for you, I say, a dark satisfaction flooding my veins. Just then, the door bursts open, and Mike steps inside, catching the tail end of our confrontation. What's going on? He asks, glancing between us. I turn to him, a twisted smile on my face. Just teaching Laura a lesson in betrayal. Mike's eyes widen as he realizes the gravity of the situation. Dude, maybe you should take it easy. This could get messy. Messy? This is just the beginning, I reply, my voice filled with venom. She's going to feel every ounce of pain she caused me. Laura's face contorts in rage as she turns to Mike. You're just going to stand there and let him do this. You know he's losing his mind. I'm standing with him because he deserves to do what he feels is right, Mike replies firmly, stepping closer to me. But we don't want this to escalate. Too late for that, I say, pulling out my phone again and scrolling through my contacts. I'm sending this to everyone, and when it goes public, you'll be the one left in the dust. Please, don't do this, Laura pleads, tears streaming down her cheeks. We can fix this. Fix this? You mean continue the charade? I scoff, my patience wearing thin. You had your chance to fix things, and you threw it away. As I hit send on the video, I can feel the weight of the decision crashing over me. It's done, there's no turning back now. Laura's expression shifts from desperation to fury as she realizes what I've just done. Get out. You think this will ruin me? I'll come back stronger, she screams, her voice raw with emotion. Good luck with that, I retort, feeling a surge of triumph. You'll always be the woman who cheated and betrayed her husband. No one will forget that. The tension in the room is palpable as I prepare to leave. I glance at Mike, who nods in understanding, his expression a mix of concern and support. Let's go, I say, and we step out into the cool night air, leaving Laura behind. As we walk away, I feel a weight lifting off my shoulders. The pain of betrayal will always linger, but I know I've taken the power back. I've exposed her for who she truly is, and that knowledge will haunt her forever. Looking back one last time, I see Laura standing at the window, her face twisted in rage and despair. I can feel the hatred between us, an unbreakable bond forged in betrayal. Goodbye, Laura, I whisper under my breath, knowing that we've parted ways for good. There's no love left between us, only a shared hatred that will linger long after we've both moved on. In that moment, I realize I'm finally free. Free from her lies, free from the chains of our marriage, and ready to embrace whatever comes next. The future is uncertain, but I know I will rebuild, stronger and wiser than before. And as for Laura, she'll have to reckon with the consequences of her choices alone.